Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Thanks Brain Rundown. Today, Kristi and I are going to talk about things that piqued our interest this week. All right, Kristi, what do you got?
Okay, first, this is not really technologically new, but it's still interesting. So there is a pub in Sussex, England that has created a Faraday cage around its building. So basically they've took, a Faraday cage is where you take a conducting metal and you mesh, it's a mesh, and so that the electrical, field, when something hits it, will end up disturbing it. Distributing it all the way around it rather than penetrating inside. So what does that mean to you and me? That means when I carry in my cell phone, it doesn't work.
So why would they do this? I mean, people use their cell phone in bars. Like, I don't want to be separated from my cell phone. Why would they?
All right, so Steve Tyler, the owner, is like, I get so sick of seeing somebody hang out with their friends, somebody goes to the bathroom, and immediately the other person kind of pulls out their phone, starts messing with it. Well, back in the day, before our smartphones, somebody goes to the bathroom, you look over, hey, how are you doing? Mm-hmm. And so it created conversation. He's like, nobody's talking, and actually, he feels like it's hurting his business. So, because you get to talk to people, and then, oh, you know what, let's get a round of drinks, while so-and-so's in the bathroom. So he feels like by turning off the cell phones and making it to where you can't talk to anyone on your phone, you're looking down, being more social, means it's gonna help his business. So he has a sign when you walk in that says, no Wi-Fi, no service, just have a good time or something. I don't remember exact words, but basically gives everyone a heads up that when you walk into this place, this is a social environment, expect to be social.
So it's controlling the crowd to stop with the cell phones and converse with each other,
Exactly.
Make connections.
He swears that this is going to be like a big thing, like people are going to actually do this. I mean, the guy's got tinfoil on the walls. So, well, we'll see what happens, but he says the business is booming, so.
Okay, well, I cannot believe that our cell phone, our cell phone use, like it's got so bad that we have to actually have bars control cell phone signals and
Right?
Wi-Fi in a building. That's depressing. Like honestly, that we have to do that. But I can see the point. So hopefully it'll make it a little bit more interesting. I personally don't want to go into a bar and not have cell phone. Like I'm too attached to my cell phone. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, instead of the smokers going outside and having that haze before the building, you're going to see all the people out there with their phones.
They're going to be out there in the street. And, yeah.
Needless to say, lures on Pokemon Go do not work in his establishment.
Oh, that could be a benefit.
I'm just saying, We talked about a couple of weeks ago about how lures are working for businesses, to help them grow and get foot traffic. Well, you can't get service in there. There's no way to utilize it. So.
Okay. Cool.
I've got one more thing, and then we can run into your awesome topic. As you know, Jet.com was purchased by Walmart.
Okay, now what is Jet.com?
Basically, it's a year-old website that has taken the same kind of structure as Amazon.com and is putting out products. So they have over 2,000 different vendors that they are purchasing from, vendors that included Walmart, and selling their products for cheaper than you can get at the actual store. So what Walmart's doing is instead of reinventing the wheel, they are going to go ahead and just purchase Jet.com and utilize their services that way.
Now, why would Walmart want to buy another retailer that does that? Doesn't Walmart already ship things from their website?
Yeah, but they only have so much stuff. As I said, Jet.com has over 2,000 vendors versus just the Walmart brand or whatever they're carrying. And their biggest competitor is Amazon. Everyone's going online. 2 days ago, my husband and I ended up doing a pantry order from Amazon.com where we got half of our groceries taken care of in just one order. Walmart needs to tap into that, and the only way to do that is either create a whole new infrastructure for the web, or they can go ahead and absorb Jet.com, which is, again, still in its infancy.
Okay, do you think that was a smart move for Walmart?
I don't know. I mean, they said that we have, I've got the actual data here, 4,000 new customers every month for Jet.com and 25,000 per day orders with a $35 minimum, which means that there's a lot of money coming into it. But again, we're all using Amazon as it is, so I don't know how how well it'll work. So I don't have a really good answer for you. I don't know.
Okay, interesting development. That is a lot of money for a year-old company.
It is a lot of money, which is, I think, why we're willing to pay the $3 billion for it. But again, I don't know, unless there is a significant price difference between Jet.com versus Amazon, I don't know why I would make the switch personally. So I guess I need to look and see what the pricing is like and see if I can do my next order through them and compare the purchase.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, this week I have run across a few stories about the future of AR and VR. And right now, there's some really interesting developments happening. We've all seen AR kind of be used with big retail brands. It kind of makes sense. You can superimpose things. I know I've played around with the IKEA catalog, and you can hold your phone up and see like a couch, see what a couch would look like in your room or something like that. And that makes sense. Converse has had this app where you can point your camera at your feet and it shows what a shoe would look like on your feet. It's kind of cool. And of course Pokemon and stuff like that. So with the whole Pokemon craze, I was like, what's going on? What is that? How is this going to develop? What are people talking about? And it's going to be interesting to see this really particularly impact retail. I mean, VR is still kind of in its infancy, but the large Chinese retailer,
I have a question. What exactly is the difference between AR, which is augmented reality, and virtual reality?
Okay, good question. So virtual reality is where you put a device on your head and it encapsulates your eyes, and now you're not seeing any part of the real world, and you're seeing an animated version of it. And it's usually in 3D, and you get transported to some other world.
That's what the Android phone is doing now.
Yes,
it is just
the Galaxy.
virtual reality.
Yeah, the Samsung has a device where you clip it into a headset and you're actually looking at your phone, but it has such high resolution that it gives a VR type of experience. Now the debate is the field of view, and then you get in with latency and does it make you feel car sick and stuff like that. So, but it was a really cool thing that came out, I want to say last year, because that's whenever I was playing with it. But this type of technology is just going to improve. AR is like Pokemon Go. You currently, I mean, there's two types of versions. You have one that's available right now and has been for some time, where you hold up your phone and the camera, you're looking at what your camera's seeing, and on the screen you see like a superimposed thing on there. So Pokemon Go, IKEA catalog, Converse. Now, I believe it's the Microsoft HoloLens that they're developing that you can actually, it takes your real world, and I could be completely wrong, but I think I remember this. I didn't prep for this part. But you have this device that goes over your head, you're looking at your world, and it superimposes digital objects on what you're looking at. So you can actually move through a room and see a clock, see a TV. It's really cool. So there's a lot of promise, and now people are, it's about time to kind of start thinking about where this is going to take us. The large Chinese retailer has released or is releasing a VR store for their products. So you put on a VR headset, you can go to Alibaba. It's called Alibaba. I don't think I mentioned that, but you go to Alibaba with your VR headset, and you're actually able to see and view items in 3D and virtual reality, which is pretty cool. And one of the services that they're working on is to help retailers or vendors, merchants, create these VR stores within Alibaba, and actually digitize their physical products and make them available for VR, and they're actually like reasonably priced to do that. So I'm a merchant, go to Alibaba, I set up my own VR store, they digitize my products, and now I'm able to hit that market.
Alibaba, they do like bulk items, don't they?
Well, they're Chinese based. They're the equivalent of a Chinese Amazon.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, so you're able to go and kind of use it. I haven't used it, but they've been successful from what I can see.
Well, I've gone to their website before. We needed bulk mini hats for an event that I was doing one time. And I saw that you could order them, but you had to get enough, like pretty much in bulk, for it to make it cost effective because of the shipping and stuff like that. So that's why I was curious. I didn't know. I didn't realize that they were based out of China, though. That's interesting.
Yeah. The guy, I've seen him all over the web, the guy who owns Alibaba. He seems like a young dude seems to be having fun with it. So
That's cool.
So I always like to see new businesses innovate. Of course, there's always backstories and stuff that you read online. But from what I see, they're innovating. They're trying to take the VR to the next step. It's kind of cool. It's a cool idea. The question that I have is, how is this going to be applied to other things other than retail? And one of the cool applications for like VR or AR, specifically AR, is this whole rescue operations, like fire and rescue. So imagine you're like a firefighter. You're going into a room that's like pitch black smoke, but it uses GPS and details about floor layouts, and you can actually see in your headset as you're a fireman going through, and you're able to see what the room looks like. And
that's cool.
You can have like temperature gauges and stuff like that.
So instead of night goggles, you're actually using something to give you the layout through the smoke and everything else.
Yeah, that's just a concept that's out there. I don't know if anybody actually doing it yet, but people are saying that could be part of the future of this, is that it could be applied to rescue operations, maybe some policing. But I can definitely see with rescue type of stuff, it would be very, very
really neat.
helpful, especially where visibility is limited. So, but beyond that, so what do we do? So the other applications were, of course, entertaining, like with Pokemon Go. We've seen that, but directly for like us, other than retail, augmented reality is going to be heavily used for navigation. I mean, it already technically is. I mean, there are some ways that you can use your phone to navigate physical environments with directions, but this is going to be ingrained deeper and deeper into the devices we buy. So how we get around, how we interact with, how we move, in particular through urban environments. I think AR is definitely applicable for that. So I know that here at Parari we work with, we're developing some AR projects in that regard, specifically for products. But it's going to be interesting to see how this develops and just grows.
Like
and
product placement, like what you were talking about, the IKEA kind of thing?
Yeah, so IKEA, you can select one item and you can see what it would look like in your room, but let's take it the next step further. And that's what some of our projects are about. Yeah, like how can you take that concept and even make it even better? And so our relationships with how we own products, our relationships with how we interact with things that are in our lives could definitely, I guess, improve in a way. Not gimmicky, not like a sales promotional way, but an actual useful way. And this gets to like my second point. Like, so let's say that you are a business owner and you're concerned about how, like you see this VR thing, you see this AR thing happening. How can I integrate it? How can I use it? And I was thinking, like, if I was a business owner, I would have to ask myself a few different questions, right? Like, you can't just jump into a new technology because it's there. It has to be really, really useful. And I think when you look at AR and VR and the tools and the concepts that it's able to provide, it's the power of it is magnified by the customer's expectation. People are expecting more and more engagement, more and more of a trust-building loyalty with brands that goes beyond just an innovative product, right? It used to be in the past like, hey, if I put out an innovative product or my product's really cool, adds a lot of value, it's going to survive. Brands realize that customers are experiencing their products within an environment, within an entire ecosystem of experiences. And through those experiences, they are developing perceptions and loyalty with the brand. And how can AR and VR help that? And that's the main point. You don't just do AR and VR. You have to see how will it really, really protect your brand? How will it add to that whole experiential environment that the consumer operates within? And the whole point is to, number one, like protect the brand. And you also have to ask yourself, what kind of value does this add to the customer so that the customer builds trust and actually builds more brand loyalty in the long run? Otherwise, it's going to come off as a gimmick. People are going to look at it. It's going to be cool for like a minute or two, and then they're going to move on. So
that's cool. It's interesting, that we're talking about how that plays into the brand and the experience, because everything that we keep talking about right now with marketing with businesses is about the experience. So it's like everything is this compounding on, it's no longer about gimmicks. It is now all about the consumer experience rather than just the product and then making it flashy.
Yeah, I think the best example of what you're talking about is Sephora application. Now, I don't use makeup. But I believe it's called, what is it, Sephora to Go? Is it Sephora Go?
So. I think you're correct, Forgo.
They have a really cool application that uses AR technology. And so my wife loves this app, and she showed it to me, and I couldn't believe like the type of technology that does. So one of the problems with makeup is that you have to go to the store, try on new makeup, see what it looks like. You may or may not like it. You don't know. It's this whole affair that goes on, right? This AR technology, like you're able to point the camera at your face and see, and immediately this app applies makeup to your face. And I have tried it. I look horrible with makeup. No pictures exist that I know of, but it is pretty fantastic.
Real quick, there's my husband trying out the app last night for me. It was fantastic. It's kind of scary how nice he looks as a woman. Needless to say, isn't that to my mother-in-law as well? It was really, really cool, and I just can't even explain how realistic it looks. So I know what you're talking about.
So you're able to immediately take out that whole trouble of going to the store and actually apply on makeup instantly. And I think that's a good example of protecting the brand, making the experience better.
Yes,
and you're more likely. Are you more likely to buy Sephora stuff?
Of course, because sometimes when you walk into Sephora, you know, the people are automatically walking to you like, "What can I help you with?" And there's this whole these days this mentality where I don't want anyone to mess with me. I just want to figure out what I want, and so you don't have to stand there and ask someone. You can just go ahead, use the AR, and have it applied, see what you look like, and purchase it right there out of the app. It's great.
You can't get any better than that, really.
You can't.
Like,
I mean, it cuts out some of the social interaction, which we can argue that in a whole different spiel, but it's really nice for those that just want to look at it, I like it, go. So it's really neat. Oh, did you know that there's also one called like Ink Hunter? It does the exact same thing. You can go ahead, you pick a spot on your body, and you do a little draw on it, a certain kind of symbol, so that it can read it on your skin. And then you go through all these little tattoo samples, and you find one. Thing. Yeah, and you point and you click, and it'll show you the tattoo on your body. Superimpose it, and you can adjust the size, the rotation, everything, so that when you go to the tattoo parlor, you're like, I already know what I want. I know what it looks like. Right here.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It's just crazy. There's different applications.
Should we go ahead and post like I'm not going to do the makeup one. I'll do the tattoo one. Do you think we should get tattoos and like post them to social? All right, so be looking at our Facebook. We're going to try to do some tattoos.
I did it to Nolan last night. He had a tattoo of a cat.
Oh, nice.
Wearing a crown. It was really interesting.
That's cool. Could he draw? You have to draw it though. You have to draw the tattoo. I'm a horrible artist.
The tattoos, they're all pre-done, and you can just choose which one you want and just say, I like it right here, and it goes pink, and then it superimposes it. It's really
nice. Nice. I'm going to put it on my face. I'm going to get a face tattoo.
Yeah. What was it, the Mike Tyson thing? I like it.
Be nice. Okay, cool. All right, guys. I think that wraps up our rundown episode. Thank you very much for watching. Hey, if you have any ideas for topics that you want us to cover, go ahead, hit us up on Twitter. It's at Parari Group. Of course, you can check out Parari Group and all things, everything that we do, and check out the Thanks Brain stuff. You can go to pararigroup.com. We'd love to see you there. And until then, I'm Scott.
And I'm Kristi.
And we'll see you later.
All right.